and welcome to your restorative practice. Restorative rest practice is the operative word. I am Afia Yana, and I am very happy to share this healing room with you. So I invite you wherever you are to make sure you have something cozy to lie down on. Maybe you'd like to have a blanket to put on your floor or a towel so you kind of warm your environment. If you have a blanket handy, I invite you to grab it. And you might even need a little kitchen towel or something like that. I'm using a leg warmer that you can use also as another little micro object for our starts today. So I invite you to take a comfortable seated position in Sukhasana, or seated easy pose. So moving the flesh out from underneath your sit bones so that you're grounded, the feet nice and wide apart in this kind of easy lotus pose. We will take some restorative inner, kind of letting go, really, breaths to start off this practice this evening. So inhaling the shoulders up and down and back. Inhaling the shoulders up and down and back with the hand in front of the heart. Of course, I start recording and there's sirens everywhere, but this is just another invitation to sink deeper into this present moment. Because the beauty of the at-home practice is there's always something going on around us. So it's a great opportunity to really use the breath and the focus to go deeper. Inviting you one more time, inhaling the shoulders up and down and back. Inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling the shoulders down and back. Gently closing your eyes and placing the palms so that they're facing up. If you're feeling open and receptive, or if you've had a busy day, you might place the palms so that they're facing down. So you can get this warmth of your own hands on your kneecaps to just ground you into the seat, ground you into this present moment. And taking stock gently of the body, mind, and spirit to start off with. Seeing where might need a little extra attention or a little extra love today. Or you might even just be thinking, well, as you're beginning to inhale a little bit longer and extend the exhale even a little bit further out. You might be thinking, well, of course, I need some relaxation. And that's why I turned this video on. So the beauty is we're going to sink right in and start to attend to this physical, mental, spiritual state of the body. But first and always in this practice of mindfulness, and gentle, mindful movement and breath, we always invite a curiosity. So getting curious about what's coming up for us, getting curious about the moment, getting a little bit more curious about our inner state, as all day long we give so much out on the outside. So enough of the gentle musings. When you come back to your exhalation, let that go. No judging. Just perhaps even placing your hands in front of your heart and gently bowing to yourself and thanking yourself for that information, for taking the time to come deeper into this self-inquiry practice. So gently opening up your eyes and Placing the fingers so that they are in an L shape, we will start with a Nadi Shodhana practice. So that is a balancing brain breath, balancing the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. So placing the fingertips, the pointer and the middle finger, so that they are in the center of the forehead, and using the thumb and the ring finger, they are going to act as valves. So you can kind of think of it as this like little guy. He's got a head and two arms that are moving back and forth. Was once a puppeteer, so anyways, I'm easily amused. So placing your fingers in the middle of your forehead, closing off your right nostril, exhaling and always starting on the left side. So exhaling out the left nostril, feeling grounded into this present moment in your seat. Inviting the inhalation with the nostrils flaring all the way, a deep breath. Can you feel the breath as it comes all the way in through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs as they expand, and then holding that breath, closing both nostrils with both the ring finger and the thumb, and then exhaling out the right side. And then you'll inhale in the right side, following the breath as it comes in, and then closing both nostrils, holding the breath for perhaps as long as you can. You might even enjoy starting to count the breaths and exhaling out the left side. So let's just say here, for now, we're going to practice using a 2, 4, 6 breath. So meaning we'll inhale in for 2, count, holding the breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and extending the exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at a rhythm that works for you. And then back, inhaling in the right side. 1, 2, holding the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1, both nostrils pitched by the fingers, and then exhaling out the left side with the right nostril closed. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? We'll try that again. So inhaling in, nice and deep, slow breath. Don't panic as the breath is coming in. Just allow the fullness of the breath to come in on the 2. Holding the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, opening up the right nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then inhaling back in for 2 in the right side. 1, 2. Closing both nostrils for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhaling back out the left side with the right nostril closed for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And taking that at your own pace. We're going to do that for 3 rounds and really see how you can luxuriate as you bring the breath into the body for 2 counts, holding for 4, using maybe even a visualization of your favorite color as you exhale out any stagnant energy or anything that might be kind of taking up space in your mind. Tell it you'll come back to it later for the 6, and then when you inhale back in for 2, into the right side of the nostril, closing both nostrils for 4 in the center, and then exhaling back out the left side for a nice full 6 count. And even when you think that there's no more breath, just really push that extra air out on the end. Beautiful. And that's 1 round. Okay, try again 2 more times on your own. This practice of balancing breath as you're inhaling into the right nostril, if you can imagine that the air crisscrosses over into the left hemisphere of your brain. Holding it gently in the middle, you might even pulse up on your pelvic floor or your Guru Bandha if you're familiar with that, or your Kegel, similar to count to 4, and then exhaling out the left side for that count of 6. Beautiful. And then closing, keeping the eyes closed, releasing the hands this time so the palms are facing up. And come back and take stock again now. How are you feeling in the mental, physical, spiritual realm? Just taking note of that, giving thanks for that information, and gently bowing your head towards your chest, placing your hands in front of your heart, and gently opening up your eyes. If you feel comfortable, you could keep your eyes closed. I'm just going to go back to this nice conscious inhale and exhale through the nose, and exhaling out through the nose as we extend this inhalation into the back of the neck, into any tightness. Can you even elongate the elbows down so that they're pressing into the sides of the body? Lifting up gently on the chest, lifting up on the heart space even, as you settle into the sit bones. When you get to your exhale, gently releasing, really taking a slow 4 counts to unfurl the neck as it comes back, chin parallel to the floor neutral, and gently opening up the eyes. Beautiful. Now inhaling the chin up towards the sky, elongating into the front of the throat, into the throat chakra, the energy center for the throat. Especially if you've had to bite your tongue today, or meaning say something that you didn't, or hold yourself back from saying something you didn't want to say. Just really thinking about bringing some conscious energy and breath into the front of your neck as it extends into your heart space. So often, sometimes, the self-restraint that we hold creates tension in our body, even though, maybe you haven't spoken up for your highest good or for someone else's. But there's sometimes a residual tension that can be held in the body from not expressing. So just thinking about that, letting it go, and on the exhale, bringing the head back to neutral. Beautiful. Releasing that, we're going to walk the feet out in front of us. And just to really wake up the legs here to start off with, placing the hands behind you, and then just giving a nice pat on the floor. If anything has come up for you, you can pat your feet like a herd of elephants. The people who are your neighbors underneath you, perhaps if you have any, might be wondering what is going on. But just giving it a shake out, or you could just shake the ankles, releasing the ankles. Beautiful. So coming back down onto your back, we are going to gently move into a bridge pose, a dynamic bridge. So inhaling the hands up and above the head, the feet hip-width distance apart, pressed into the floor, inhaling the arms back. And looking up towards the ceiling here is really important in this pose. Then exhaling, lifting the tailbone up off of the ground, tucking the tailbone under as if the tail's coming between your legs. Chest rises to chin, chin rises towards the sky, and then exhale, rolling down the back of the spine as the hands come back above the head, palms facing down, and then touching into the side of the floor next to you. Exhale, releasing. Beautiful. So we'll press into the feet first, inhaling the arms up. Coming all the way back above the head, and as they reach right above you, starting to lift the hips up, pressing into both heels evenly. As the hands come extended above you. Beautiful. Inhale and exhaling here for one count of the breath. Chin extending up towards the sky. See if you can see that expansion in the ribs, and exhaling the arms up above you as you roll down the spine, vertebra by vertebra. And the hands coming back onto the floor, pressing into the floor to stabilize the shoulders. And so even here, rotating the shoulders up and down the backs, can you get the scapula to begin to kiss on the back side of the body? And then pressing the hands into the floor. Taking a breath to lift the heart up off of the floor. Beautiful. And then releasing the heart back onto the floor, the upper back onto the floor. Pressing the lower back into the floor. Then engaging the heels, pressing them into the floor. And imagining you have a block squeezed between your knees, pressing into your feet. Inhale, lifting the arms up as you lift the buttocks off the floor. Hands come up above you. Chest to the ceiling, chin towards the chest. And as the arms come all the way back, really tucking that tailbone under and lifting to your fullest extension and expression of this pose. The belly button even comes back towards the spine in the inhale. And on the exhalation, lifting the arms up, slowly rolling down one vertebra by another. Can you feel as each of the vertebrae presses into the floor, the lower back presses into the floor. Just nice and slow. Beautiful. And then the hands are the last thing to come down. And then pressing the lower back into the floor, especially if you have any tenderness in the lower back, this can feel really great. And then breathing up into the heart space, pressing the shoulders into the floor so that you can even just feel the back of your heart lifting up off of the floor here. So we'll stay here for 3 breaths. It might not even look like anything's happening here from the outside. But as you press into the feet, pressing the lower back into the floor, but lifting the upper back off of the floor. It's just a gentle heart opener here. Seeing what's happening with your breath. Can you come back to a connection, a focused connection with your breath? Beautiful. And then releasing the tailbone, releasing the breath, and letting that go. Extending the feet all the way out in front of you, or all the way away from you. And pressing them evenly into the floor. We're going to lift the hands up above the head, grasping a hold of both elbows. And then gently taking a C curve here, or this is going to be called banana pose. So bending the right elbow down towards the right side of the thigh as you pull up on the elbows. And then look down towards your toes here. And then crisscross your left foot over your right. If you would like to hold just a little bit more of this twist. This might feel good for you. And then see as you inhale, releasing the breath out on the exhale. See if you can feel that extension. An expansion to the left side of the ribs. Pressing the elbows back into the floor. Inviting that gentle snoring sound, that victory breath, that ujjayi breath into the back of the throat, especially as you're moving So maybe even walking, if you're feeling good here, the right feet a few more inches off of your midline of the body. So the feet can move about 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever feels good for you to the right. For the fullest expression of this banana pose. Or supine extension. And then when you're ready, uncrossing the feet first, so both feet are hip width distance apart, pressing the heels into the ground, and then gently allowing the arms to slide back to the center. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. And as you inhale and exhale, see if you can feel the difference in the breath we see between the right and the left sides of the rib. The expansiveness that's happened on the left side of the ribs. Just taking stock, using the mindfulness, the power of our awareness to notice. So rotating the shoulders up and down and back, you can walk the elbows underneath the shoulder girdle so that the scapula, the shoulder blades are touching together. And then on the exhale, walking the left elbow 3, 4, 5 perhaps inches, inching the head over towards the left side of where you're lying, off 3, 4 inches off the left side of the center line, and moving the left elbow towards the left hip. You might stay here for a breath. And if you're feeling like you could use a little bit more, crisscrossing the right foot over the top of the left, right ankle over the left ankle. Breathing into the right side of the rib here. Really inviting the breath with every inhalation to gently ease open. Create some relaxation with every extension of the breath into the right side of the ribs. These intercostal muscles. These tiny little muscle and ligaments that are more so muscles that are between the ribs. This is really good if you have any type of sciatica or psoas issues. And exhaling. Your next exhale, releasing and letting that go. Uncrossing the legs if they were crossed, placing the feet hip width distance apart. And on the inhalation, coming back to neutral so that the head is in the line with the back and the spine, and releasing the hands down and opening them up into just a nice relaxed corpse pose here for a second. Beautiful. We're going to inhale the right leg up and creating a figure 4, bending the left knee, reaching behind the left thigh if that's comfortable for you, your chin coming down to your chest, and just rocking back and forth here. Seeing as you rock back and forth from the right to the left side, if you can even extend the lower back a little bit further down. So as you're walking down back and forth, you might imagine that the spine is becoming 2 or 3 inches longer as the right hip walks a little further down on the surface of your line. The left hip walks a little further down. Beautiful. Relishing in. Just gently. Nothing to do. Nowhere to be. But in your breath right now. Inviting your breath back if the mind begins to wander. Sometimes it's helpful to keep the eyes open during the practice so that the mind doesn't wander. Sometimes it might just feel good to just close the eyes and withdraw the visual senses, going deeper into the inner world. Breathing deep into the belly, as you might be feeling the belly coming up towards the elbows. And on the next exhalation, releasing the left foot down to pressing it into the floor. Beautiful. Pressing the right foot down, parallel to the left, crisscrossing the left shin over the right thigh. You might push open to parallel, evenly make both hips parallel as you open up the left knee a little bit down towards your feet, and then inhale on the inhalation, inviting the legs up. And this is where, if you weren't feeling that you can reach behind the leg, this is where you could take your little towel or your blanket or your leg warmer and reach it behind your leg or your sock. The beauty of the practice is just getting creative with all of the things that you have at hand. Most importantly, using this amazing tool that we have of the breath in the body. These two huge gifts that we have to get our energy restored in the right place and settled. Taking the deepest, fullest breath of the day, filling up the belly with air. Then go back to extending, playing with extending the exhalation a little bit longer than the inhalation. Seeing when you come to the exhalation, if you can even if you have to blow out through the lips, extend the exhalation where you think it's done. Even 1 or 2 breaths more. And then rocking back and forth, one right hip to left hip. What we do on one side, we do to the other. Almost forgot I got some zen out. And then on the exhalation, releasing the hands, whatever you're holding underneath the leg, pressing the right foot into the floor. The left foot comes down to meet the right. Beautiful. And rolling over into your cat-cow position. We're going to come up into just a gentle tabletop here. So inhaling the chin and the chest up. And exhaling. Tucking the tailbone under. Breathing into the back of the space we're creating in the back of the heart. Inhaling into the top of the feet. The hands pressing evenly into the floor. Opening up the front of the throat that we were working with earlier. Exhaling. Pressing back, extending into the belly button. As the belly button lifts. And then one more slow inhalation up. See if you can maybe feel the stretch in another part of the body you hadn't thought of before. Perhaps press the knees a little bit further apart. And then exhale to open up the pelvic girdle. Exhaling, belly button back towards spine. Beautiful. And on your inhalation here, lifting up the right knee, bringing it forward into this pigeon pose. Grabbing your blanket, and you can place it underneath your right hip. If you like, grab your little sock or pillow. And then inhaling, breathing up into the back of the body. And exhale when you feel comfortable walking forward, cascading the body forward. Perhaps making a pillow with the hands, placing your soft object underneath your head. And we'll be here for 2 breaths. Following the breath as it cascades through the body. Nice deep inhalation, and on the next exhalation, pressing the hands back. Lifting, engaging the belly, lifting the right knee to come back to meet the left. And then on the exhalation, lifting up the left knee, engaging the belly, bringing it up between the left hands, grabbing your pillow, blanket, whatever it may be, and placing it under the left hip. Inhaling up, extending through the front of the throat, extending through the front body, and then exhalation cascading forward to this resting position. On this little pillow you've created for your hands, staying here for 2 breaths. Allowing the fullness, the mindfulness, the loving attention of the breath to draw back your focus if it wanders. Beautiful. And then on the next exhalation, pressing yourself up into lifting the left knee, cat back to meet the right. Beautiful. Placing your blanket in front of you here. The knees spread wide apart. You might place your blanket underneath your chest so you really have some space. And then exhaling forward. Placing perhaps your hands underneath your head as before. Extending the arms out in front of you. Whatever feels good for you here. It's your practice. Using this feedback of the head against the floor or against the blanket surface or against the hand. Just notice the difference in the body and the mind state from when you began. Clocking and taking notice of how just a few moments of gentle, restorative attention to the body can renew the whole entire being, the whole thing. Renew all of it. And then exhaling, releasing and letting that go. Placing the hands underneath you and gently walking back up. If you'd like, you can come directly into your Shavasana, lying down position. And if you like this breath, we're going to go back to one more practice of this Nadi Shodhana breath. So you might even take your blanket here and place it so that it is all around you. If you're laying down on the floor and you have had enough and you're ready to just let go and release, please do. You could even just turn the video off and be done. Or if you would like, we're going to do 3 Nadi Shodhana rounds right now, and then just a short guided meditation, either sitting or lying on your cozy throne. So the hands up, the right hand up, closing the right nostril, exhaling out the left side. Seeing if you can extend that 2, inhaling in for 2. Closing the nostrils for 4. Pulling up on the pelvic floor, if you're familiar with that. And then exhaling out the right side of the nostril for 6. Inhaling in the right nostril for 2. Holding in the middle, both nostrils closed for 4. Closing the right nostril, exhaling out the left for 6. Beautiful. 2 more rounds, inhaling in. Left. Closing both nostrils, rotating in the middle. Exhaling out the right side for 6. Letting all the air out. And inhaling in nice and slow for 2. Closing, retaining the breath in the middle, exhaling out the left side. One more round on your own, as slow as you can go. And when you finish, keeping the eyes closed, releasing the hands down to the lap. Keeping the eyes focused at the center of the eyebrows, maybe even thinking about the center of the brain, about 3 inches back, or so from the center of your eyebrows, the ajna, center, the seat of your intuition. So just seeing here if you can consciously begin to just let go of the breath. Feeling the surface where you're sitting. First taking stock of the sit bones. The hips. Heart over the hips. Shoulders over the heart. This point in the center of the brain, over the heart, and even seeing if you can sense an extension of your energy a few inches above your head. And then coming into the sounds around you, just taking note of the sounds, using sounds as a awareness to bring your attention in a focused state closer towards you. What are the furthest sounds you can hear? Perhaps street noises in the house, in the room that you're in. Inches away from you, and then returning to the sound of your own breath. Maybe even you can hear the sound of your own heart beating. Staying nice and tall through the spine. You might even think about tucking the chin, just a micro bend, an inch down towards, a few centimeters even down towards the chest. So keeping that a focus in between the third eye, in between the brow, while the eyes might be gently focused up towards this point. The tongue might be gently resting on the soft palate, or even at the point where the teeth, the hard palate even, the point where the teeth meet the gum, connecting an energetic channel in the body. And then coming to the sense of visualization with the eyes closed. What are images that might be playing in front of the eyes, or light, or patterns? Taking that in as information, nothing to be attached to, and just letting that go. And using the sense of smell. Perhaps you smell a product that you've used today, a lotion, or maybe you went for a run and you're a little bit sweaty. Or maybe you had some incense or something burning in your house. You can smell that. Or food being cooked, exhaling and letting that go. And then coming to the sense of taste, noticing the tongue as it sits in the mouth. Perhaps you can taste or have a sense of the last thing that you ingested. Or maybe even if you brushed your teeth, that mintiness. Or maybe even just thought might make the mouth begin to salivate as you think about what you might be having next to eat or partake in. And then letting that go. And again, scanning quickly through the body, checking at the top of the head to release tension in the scalp. Seeing how quickly you can relax the eyes in their sockets, how quickly you can relax the jaw, the tongue, how quickly you can relax the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, and the hands. Using the breath to invite in relaxation, letting go of any muscles that might be gripping as you're sitting up. Inviting in the wave of the breath to calm the nervous system, relaxing the thighs, the buttocks, and the kneecaps. Relaxing the toes. Following the breath in. 3 conscious breaths, following them into the body and count them. Ride the wave of the breath as it leaves out of the body. Seeing how quickly you can relax all of the body systems. Breathing in relaxation into the internal organs. Exhaling, releasing anything that's not serving you. And breathing in perhaps just a gentle upturning of the corners of your mouth. Or maybe even just thinking of an inner smile. Seeing if you can just smile gently to your organs. To your brain that does so much work for you. To your heart that beats nonstop. So thanklessly. And breathing into the core of your belly button, to the center of your being. You place one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart. Inhaling and exhaling. You might even rub the hands together here to create some warmth in the hands. Even faster, rubbing the hands together, the eyes still closed here, whether you're sitting or lying. And then placing the warmth of the hands over the palms of the hands over the eyes. Exhaling and letting that go. Just feeling the warmth of the hands. Can you inhale in this calm warmth and relaxation, this restoration? In your little cave of being, this amazing vessel that we have, this body, this life. And if you found any benefits from the practice, you might close the hands together in Anjali or thankful prayer pose, lifting the hands above the brow center, giving thanks for right heart-centered thoughts, placing the hands in front of the mouth and the throat, giving thanks for right heart-centered speech, especially thoughts, speech, that inner speech that we have to ourselves. Giving gratitude, placing the hands in front of the heart, seeing if we might be able to coordinate all of this into right heart-centered action. This beautiful dance of existence. Giving thanks for all of the pleasures and the pains that expands our awareness and our being. And then bowing the head towards the heart, giving thanks to your ancestors, to whatever brought you to this healing today. Might you be nourished? If you found any benefit from this practice, you might send off a little extra G, a little extra something to someone who might be in need. And then gently opening up the eyes when you're ready. I give thanks for you being here today. Ashe, Namaste. I bow to the inner amazingness of you. And thank you so much for joining. I'm looking forward to hearing from you with any class requests at Afi Healthy Happy. That's at AFI Healthy Happy at Instagram. And any comments, any concerns, I'd love to hear from you. And thank you to the African American Arts and Cultural Complex for this platform. Thanks.